Hello there you guys, welcome to one of my live videos, and as you can see on the top of my screen, more things has updated since my last video, as I'm going to be telling you right now. The situation with Alvaro Morata, it's been boosting since January 2016, it's been slowly going up, and Jose Mourinho's, it is one of his main priorities. Also, before, there's been a 52.4 million bid being rejected. I think there's also been a 60 million bid being rejected from Morata. And then according to reports, was it yesterday, that apparently, according to a report that I'd read about, there'd been an agreement of around £62 million. But something else has basically updated now. So this basically could be in doubt for Morata. He's just currently had his honeymoon. Well, he's had his wedding before, and he's just currently had his honeymoon. But he's rushed basically off his honeymoon to make an effort to get back to, Real Madrid. And he insists and he considers on making a move to Manchester United. But it's been one of our main priorities for quite a while now. I said bide your time in transfer windows. Transfer negotiations do take a while, guys. Florentino Perez now basically insists Real Madrid are not negotiating for Alvaro Morata, and he don't basically now. What he's saying is he's trying to cover his own back. He doesn't think he's in negotiations with Manchester United, does Florentino Perez. And this is what he's told S Radio about this. And that report of around the 62 million that he, I presume that he agreed. He says it is false. It is false, that statement about that £62 million, and it is not true. So this basically now could be announced in the next bloody 48 hours maybe. I don't know when it's going to be fully announced, guys. I would pay 62 or 60 million for Morata, but I don't think he's worth any more than 60 million or 62 million. I'm not quite sure what's going to happen now, guys. I'm really not quite sure. He's rushed off his own resume. Basically, Real Madrid, he's not a cast-off. Real Madrid do not want to get rid of Alvaro Morata. But basically, Perez has insisted he wants Mbappe in at Real Madrid. So I think he needs Morata or someone to go. So Mbappe can go in the door so they can raise them funds. So, yeah, I am still pretty confident this will happen about Alvaro Morata. I'm still pretty confident. He's got that winning pedigree. He's proved it at Juventus, achieved well at Real Madrid. And the irregular starts that he's had at Real Madrid, and he just basically wants first team football. And, he's going to get that under Jose Mourinho and Manchester United, is Alvaro Morata. He can score goals. He can lead the lines as well. The past experience with Pogba and Mourinho, as I said before, is also beneficial for Manchester United. I hope that a dramatic U-turn doesn't happen. He ends up staying at Real Madrid through Perez is manipulating him in a kind of a way, if you get what I mean, guys. Because they don't want him to leave. I'd love Morata to come. 15 goals last season, 14 stars in 26 appearances is impressive. Also, Madrid's built around Ronaldo, so basically he can't get a game when Ronaldo's there. So, I'm still pretty confident with that. But I think they're looking into the region now of at least around about, is it between 70 and 80 million pounds? The Real Madrid set that price tag up. It'll be around about 70 80 million pounds. But as I'm saying, guys, Florentino Perez insisted Real Madrid are not negotiating with for Alvaro Morata. He don't think we're in negotiations with us. The transfer fee basically to be fair, has taken a while to get fully announced and fully negotiated. I did see it yesterday, but that could be a false statement that I'd read about. I thought it was true, but so I'm gonna look more into it now. When this Morata thing could be announced. I'm gonna have a look now, guys. Oh, for God's sake. 1 hour ago. Now they're basically saying the deal's being held up also by Cristiano Ronaldo. Perez has announced about Ronaldo, as I said, it's not true. Could be going to China, which I doubt. He's been linked to us, he's been linked to Paris Saint-Germain, but he's basically now saying it's held up by Ronaldo. Why would this situation about Morata be held up by Ronaldo? I know there's been long stories and gossip, fluttering around and stuff about Ronaldo wanting to leave Real Madrid. Perez is backed him and he's defending him against his will all the way. He says he's been angry, he's been petulant. And more, as I said, more will be discussed after the Confederations Cup about Cristiano Ronaldo. He's not coming to Manchester United. And why this affects the Morata case, I do not know, guys, honestly. So, but basically now they're saying the announcement awaits until Ronaldo's future is resolved. So basically with Morata it hasn't been fully announced yet because Perez says we haven't been in full negotiations. So basically now it could be like the Griezmann, similar to what happened with Griezmann. I'm not getting into that discussion now, I've already told you before. I still think it will happen. Manchester United are willing to pay out for Alvaro Morata. He's been one of our main priorities for a while and he's been one of our main targets anyway. So yeah, let's move on. The next player I'm going to talk about is Aubameyang. I mentioned him in quite a while. Liverpool have been interested in him. Man City have monitored an interest as well. Quite a few teams have been interested in him. Whether he will leave Borussia Dortmund, guys, I do not know. But he's good. He's got electrifying pace. Good at getting through the channels. 40 goals last term, and he's achieved fantastically well with Borussia Dortmund, and he's probably he sets the world alight. He's probably one of the best in the world. Klopp worked with him for 7 years something. Klopp was at Borussia Dortmund. Basically, Liverpool have been in there basically looking for a reunion with Aubameyang. But I think Atletico Madrid have also now gained their interest also in Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang as well. I'd love him to come to Manchester United. I'm surprised Manchester United haven't made a full-on initial approach for Aubameyang. Because he leads the lines very, very well as well. Very good in the air also. So we'll have to see what happens about that. Sig bloody. As I told you guys about the midfield, Matic, I think a £40 million now is nearly full on agreed for Nemanja Matic. I think he's had his medical, he's undergone it, I'm not quite sure. I said Matic, he's an absolute Chelsea reject. He's done well in the past, he's done really well, but last season, I think he must have participated in 3 or 4 games last season for Chelsea, and he's worked for Mourinho in the past as Matic, but he's quick in some access, but most of the time he's very, very slow on the ball. He's tall, that's an advantage of a player, but he's also easily predictable as well. And you can't compare him to the likes of Fabinho. Fabinho is so much better. Out of all the defensive mids, basically, that Manchester United have looked at, I'd rather take anyone than Matic. Fabinho, even Eric Dyer, I'd rather take him than Matic. 9 goal and stuff like that. There has been talks about, with the Matic, it still looks realistic that it's coming. A lot of Manchester United fans are disappointed about this, so yeah, we'll just have to accept the situation. £40 million is an absolute rip-off. Was it a couple of years ago Chelsea got him for £30 million, if I'm correct about that? Oh, I can't remember. We're round about that anyway. Yeah, but Fabinho, we could still be in the pursuit of Fabinho, guys, as I said, after the Matic, that looks realistic now that it's going to happen. We're still in pursuit. Before, we wasn't really interested in Fabinho, as I told you. Jose Mourinho's more intentions were on Dyer or Matic. He failed to get one of them, he was going to go for Fabinho. But then Damasio announced this, the Italian journalist. No, Damasio announced this, the respected journalist, should I say, sorry. That it was reported from Italian reports, an Italian journalist, that Manchester United were close to completing a signing of Fabinho. And since then, it's been very, very good. And he said he's keen on playing with Jose Mourinho. As I said, he's also looking for that reunion with Jose Mourinho after that 1 year deal, one loan spell with Real Madrid. Fabinho, he can play at converted right back. He makes a massive, massive impact to his game. He progressed to the Champions League semi-final last season, won the La Liga 1, first time in nearly 2 decades. Combines with his teammates well, very reliable, also good at holding on to the ball as well. So I'd love the likes of Fabinho to come. It's around about, I think it's 50 million euros or something like that, and 40 million pounds sterling or something. But that's an absolute bargain for the likes of Fabinho, not for Matic. That's an absolute rip-off. But Fabinho said very good in the air, contributes to his game well. He's also got experience as well. So it had been according to the Italian journalist that it is going to happen. He's also told Brazilian TV it was a tempting invitation. And he's going to ask what is his squad role number going to be next season. So yeah, I'm still not fully committing to it. I'm still not fully convinced that it will happen about that. But we will have to see about that. And yeah. And also, basically, guys, I've just looked at Van Dijk. I didn't really know much about him. He's allegedly supposed to be the best player in the Premier League or centre-back. I've just looked into some of his stats because I didn't really know much about him. Some of his stats are quite impressive. Yeah, the reports coming out saying that he ain't worth 60 or 70 million pound or whatever it is price tag. They say he's good, but he's not worth that kind of money. We've been in there before. I think Liverpool are trying to get in there for Van Dijk. Van Dijk is a good ball interceptor. His concentration is good, and he's good at aerial duels. I've just read about, and I think he made about 21 appearances last season for Southampton. So yeah, he's got some good physical attributes. I've just read some of his stats, guys, as I just said. Also, I said push Pogba up for further forward next season. That's where he plays better. And also push Herrera more, so he can express himself on the right even better also. The latest news about Kylian Mbappe. Currently now, all of a sudden, Paris Saint-Germain are in there. I think they've offered a staggering amount of money. Is it £240 million or something like that I've just read about? Real Madrid are basically looking to get in there as well. But they can't basically get Kylian Mbappe unless, the likes of Alvaro Morata leave. That's what they basically want, to raise these funds to get Kylian Mbappe. But Kylian Mbappe is one of the highest prospects in the world. He's good in the air, very skillful. He's absolutely fantastic, and he's comparable to Thierry Henry, as I read before. I'd love the likes of Mbappe at Manchester United. Manchester United have been in there in the past. Don't think Manchester United are going to get him though. There's been news about who was the other news about? Yes, the left back for Manchester United. We've looked into a few. We've looked into Jordi Alba, as I told you, from Dan Bolland reports claim that we was in for Jordi Alba. Nothing's more reported lately. He's fantastic in the air. He's got good stamina, got good energy levels, very energetic. Can also play as a left winger as well. So he'd be good creating that dedicated width. I have slight concerns at left back because we may need a left back. I did say give Luke Shaw another chance at Manchester United for next season, as he did receive a bit of criticism last season as well. And yeah, we'll have to see what happens about whether we get a left back or not. I don't know. I think centre back position's fine. Victor Lindelof is good, and Eric Bailly are a good, strong centre back partnership. He does have some reservations about his game, does Lindelof, but Matic basically has a lot of reservations about his game. So, but Victor Lindelof, I should basically expect by Sunday we should have at least a player or two on the board. That's what basically I expect by Sunday. The most likely ones now, I still think Alvaro Morata will come. I still think, Matic looks like he's coming. I think Fabinho still may come as well. Maybe Nainggolan may come as well. I like him as well. I've watched some of him. He's very good in the air. Last season, 41 appearances, 13 goals. Very skillful. He's basically one of the most efficient players and very good. Most efficient players, one of the highly rated players in Serie A, according to reports. He's also got good passing ability as well, 9 goals. So I would love us to get the pursuit of him. He'd be fantastic for Manchester United because I've watched quite a bit of him for Roma. Cavic's good there in the centre defensive mid as a backup plan. And I presume players will be going in the summer as well. And Nemanja Matic also, can I just say, if you noticed, he's got like Nemanja Matic and Nemanja Vidic, the same first name. But let's be honest, guys, Nemanja Matic is nowhere near the same level as Nemanja Vidic. Let's be quite honest about that, guys. So you can't even compare them two because Vidic is just so more highly rated and he's an absolute fantastic centre back compared to Nemanja Matic. But I think we could be proven wrong. Nemanja Matic could end up developing himself well. Jose Mourinho is determined that he wants to get him in the bag, and we'll just have to see how it turns out. If he develops himself well, then we may think at the end of his tenure, probably were worth the 40 million, but I just don't think he's worth 40 million in general. That's my perspective on the situation, guys. Also, with Rooney by the US tours, which is when they go off to the US tours, is it 8th of July or something? That it should be announced then whether he's staying at Manchester United or he's leaving Manchester United. I'm not quite sure. People have favoured him and moved to China, but he does need to go because someone else, basically, we need a number 10 role, especially if he leads. We was adamant James Rodriguez said he'd operate in that number 10 role if Rooney was going to depart, but I'm not quite sure if Rooney's going to depart. Also, and James Rodriguez, he's insisted basically that he does want to make a move to Manchester United. So we'll have to see how that plans out. I said I'm not fully committing to it. I'm not fully convinced yet. He's very versatile. He's also very good in wonder of a left foot, and I basically do think Manchester United do need quite a few left-footed players in that team. So we'll have to see what happens. Mkhitaryan's Europa League form also a good last season, so he's very good from the right. He's very generous from the right-hand side. Rashford got young talent experience. He's not ready to lead the lines just as yet, and he's a good athlete. And also Antonio Martial, I'm not quite sure what's going to be happening with him. As I said, Arsenal have been in there £40 million. Can't see Mourinho sanctioning him, but we'll have to see what happens, guys, about all this. Anyway, it could be basically it's a debate now as going back to the topic of the development about Morata. It's a huge debate. We should know in the next day or two about what's fully going on with Avril Morata. He will operate well in that number 9 role, as I said. He will get more starts under Manchester United, and it will be fantastic. I just hope that it's not a similarity to what happened with Griezmann. But we know we was adamant he was going to get the number 7, but we did know that it would have come if it had not have been upheld and it had been lifted. He would have come to Manchester United, so could still possibly look into him in January. So so I'm going to have a look at the more latest news now, and then when I find more latest news that's recently updated, I will be notifying you guys about that. So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoy my time and company today as usual, and take it easy, and I'll see you later. Bye.